Hey folks, Good Guy Glenn here, and today is Friday, June 14th, 2024. Today we're going to talk about what you need to expect if you decide to go work for Western Express. First of all, I want to preface this video by saying, if you are a felon, you've done time, you don't have the cleanest of record, either criminally or your driver's license is screwed up, Western Express is a place that will offer you an opportunity to make money. That's definitely something that is great about companies like Western Express. When no one else will hire you, Western Express will hire you. That being said, if you've been in the system, you know how it is. You know when your PO gets you a new job, you know how they treat you. They treat you like a convict, and it's not always cool. Sometimes it's very hard to get back on your feet after you've been down and done time. So Western Express is no different in that aspect. You know, you're not going to be welcomed with open arms and treated like whatever. But no offense to that, they treat pretty much all the drivers equally when it comes to that. That being said, if you have a clean driver's record, and you're new to the CDL game, you just got your CDL license, and you're looking at a first company, do yourself a favor, do some research, and look into other companies before you make the commitment to go to Western Express. There are plenty of other companies that are willing to train you. You'll get better training than what you'll get at Western Express. Warner is one of them. If you want to do flatbed, Melton is another company that pays much better than a flatbed rate at Western Express. But mind you, all these companies, they're going to have something to them that's not cool because you're a new CDL driver. So let's dispel any kind of rumor right away or falsehoods. Your first year on OTR, maybe even your first 2 years on OTR, you're not going to make any real money. Anyone who sold you on a dream that you're going to become a millionaire being an OTR truck driver out the gate, they lied to you. Straight up. You'll be lucky if you make $50,000, $55,000 your first year, if you're lucky. Western Express is not going to start you out at more than 40 cents a mile for dry van. I'm not exactly sure what they start off flatbed for. You do make a little bit more money on flatbed. You do get a tarping pay of $25, but I think they even lowered it after that, compared to a company like Melton or TMC that offers you $100 tarp pay. You do the math. Whatever your recruiter tells you, if you're speaking to a recruiter, they're lying to you. I hate to say it, they're 100% lying to you. Some of the ridiculous things I've heard that recruiters have told some of these kids that are coming into the company are just asinine. You're not going to make 60 cents a mile out the gate. You're not going to make 3,000 miles out the gate. You will not get a raise from 40 cents now at Western Express until you're 6 months in. Then I think it goes up to 48 cents, something like that. I was making 48 cents a mile at Western, but I had been there for over 6 months. And back when I came into Western in 2023, they were still giving raises every so often. I forget the intervals of like how the raises worked there, but they did give me a pay raise just about every month. Maybe, I forget how it worked, but I made it up to 48 cents a mile, and it was decent. Like I've always said, I made decent miles at Western Express. I can't complain. There were weeks that I had breakdowns that I made like no miles. I had $500 checks, but you can make miles at Western Express if you're willing to run your clock the right way and do things the right way. Make sure that you went to an accredited school. So I can't stress this enough. Western Express is not going to provide you with adequate training. They're going to run you as a team. Maybe the first day or two, they're going to, like, the trainer will stay up with you and make sure you don't crash the truck. He's doing this more for his safety than yours. And then once he figures out you're competent and you can keep it straight in the lane, they're going to put you on a FedEx loop and they're going to run you teams. And you're going to run out your 11 every single day. You're never going to stop. And that's how they run it. as far as training goes, you'll get very little to no training. You'll be lucky if you learn how to use the tablet, the Qualcomm. So these are things that you need to focus on asking about, learning about, doing the tutorials that are out there. There's actually tutorials on the tablet, so once you go solo, you could probably teach yourself. That's what I had to do. I had to basically teach myself everything about the tablet because my trainer did everything on the tablet. You have to make sure you learn about weighing your loads. A lot of guys won't weigh their loads. They want to run dangerous. That's fine. But that's a scale house ticket, and I think they jumped it up to $2,500 now. I could be wrong. I never received one, but I have heard that I think it's about $2,500, and I think it's CSA points. But make sure you learn how to use the CAT scale. Get the app on your phone so you don't have to go in every time. Sometimes the parking lot at the Loves or the Pilot is going to be jam-packed, and you won't be able to go in and get a scale ticket, or it's inconvenience, or it's raining out. If you have the app on your phone, it's a lot easier. And you will have to pay for your own scale tickets. They're about $14. They're $13.95 or something like that. And when you scan in your paperwork, you will get reimbursed for it. So that leads me to the next thing. Don't show up to Western Express with no money. This is something that I see a lot of people fall into. I had saved up a bunch of money doing DoorDash before I went to Western Express. Now, mind you, going into Western Express, when I got my CDL license, I was homeless. I didn't have a place to live. I was basically, doing DoorDash to survive, and I made pretty decent money at it because I was DoorDashing 12 hours, 16 hours a day. I was bringing in over $200 a day just doing DoorDash, but then, you take out for gas and whatnot. But I paid my bills, and I always had something to eat. When you show up, have some money saved up in the bank, because that's pretty much what you're going to be living off of. Western is only going to pay you $70 a day in training, and that doesn't count for orientation. You'll make zero. You're not making any money at orientation. And if you wait on a trainer, you won't make anything for those days. So if you don't go out with a trainer right away, then you're not making any money. So it would behoove of you that when they offer you a trainer, you take the trainer. It's all going to be the same anyway. There's no trainer. There are trainers that are better than other trainers, but you won't know that when they're offering you up a trainer. So honestly, have some money set aside to take care of yourself while you're out there. So a lot of good trainers will pay because they have shower power through Pilot, so they'll get you showers. But be ready, in case your trainer really sucks, to pay for your own showers. You're going to have to pay for your own meals. And a lot of kids, they come in and they don't have a dime in their pocket. And the money you make during training isn't going to be enough to survive on. I strongly suggest that if you're going to go out OTR, you don't have an apartment with rent, and if you have like an astronomical car payment, if you have a lot of bills, perhaps coming to Western Express, coming OTR period, probably isn't for you. You're not going to make a lot of money, and you're going to be away so much. Let's go into that. That's next. Home time. Some people had good luck with home time. I did not. Now, mind you, I didn't ask for home time a lot. I didn't have any place to really go. But I did ask a few times to go see my kids, and things have come up. I've done videos in the past about it. You could look into them to watch. They've screwed me out of home time a few times. They never even offered me home time. So if you're not, you have to be on top of your home time. If you want to go home, you have to try to make a big deal about going home. And you have to open your mouth if you're scheduled for home time and they start sending you in the opposite direction, which is something they like to do to me. I'm supposed to go towards Jersey, and they're sending me out to Kentucky. Makes no sense, but that's what Western will do. As far as training goes, research things. Have some skills before you come in. Backing skills. I don't know what kind of CDL school you went to. See, I was mistaken in believing that the CDL school I went to, Smith & Solomon, which focused a lot on backing and parking. I thought that all CDL schools were the same. They're not. My CDL school, I was in CDL school for 2.5, 3 months. Apparently, some of these courses are 2 weeks long. That's not near enough time and experience to learn how to do everything you need to do to safely operate an 18-wheeler. But hey, what are you going to do? There's scam artists everywhere, and apparently, people run scams with these CDL schools. And from what I understand, they didn't pay less than I did to go to school. So it's not even a cost thing. In some cases, they paid a lot more than what I paid to go to CDL school. Mind you, I was on a veterans program. I didn't pay. I got my CDL school paid for by the state. But I digress from what I'm saying. Make sure you have some skills, some basic skills on how to 90, 45, park the truck, get it in the hole, know how to couple up to a trailer, and make sure you know how to do your pre-trip. That's very, very important. Learn how the brakes in your truck work. In CDL school, way before we even got to go near the 18-wheelers, we had classroom time. We learned about brake fade. We learned about using the Jake brake, or your engine brake, as it's called. Learn how to use the brake. When you're going to be going down a lot of mountains at Western Express. West Virginia, Fancy Gap, things like this. They're gnarly hills. Some of them are 7-8% grade. And if you're loaded, you're going to be flying down that hill. Don't ride your brake, because then you cook your brakes heat up, and you get what's called brake fade, and then you're done. Your brakes aren't going to work. Use your Jakes. Let your engine slow the vehicle down. Don't be in a hurry. Maintain the posted speed limit. It's there for a reason. Believe me, you're flying down Fancy Gap and you hit a switchback where the road curves, you're going to roll, or you're going to crash through the guardrail, and you're going to go off the cliff. So, learn how your Jake brakes work. Try to learn as much as you can before you go out there, because I'm telling you, the training you're going to get is not going to be worth anything. When you're at orientation, it's the atypical thing. You're going to take a drug test. You're going to hand in all your paperwork from your school. Read everything that you're filling out for them. They're going to have you filling out a lot of papers and wanting you to sign. Don't just blindly sign, because that's how they get you with the 6-month contract. Western likes to sneak in a 6-month contract in there. Just don't sign it. Now, there could be caveats to this. They may not hire you if you're a felon, or you didn't go to an accredited CDL school. They may not hire you if you don't sign said 6-month contract. But if you don't want to be in a 6-month contract, or you plan on leaving before 6 months, you're going to owe them $2,500. That's what's in the contract. And then, a lot of times in the contract, they have what's called a non-compete clause, which makes it so you can't work for another trucking company for a year, allegedly. I didn't have said contract. I never seen said contract. But I've heard enough stories from drivers about it, and I do know that the contract exists. If you went to an accredited CDL school and you don't have a dirty record and you don't have any felonies, chances are they probably won't try to put it in there. But read everything before you sign it. And this is good practice with any company you go to. Read everything. I know it's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of fine print. It's a lot of stuff you don't want to look through. Don't sign anything without reading it. And if it doesn't seem right to you, don't sign it. There's other trucking companies out there. Remember, that CDL, you could go places with that CDL, and it's hard when you're starting out because everyone wants experience. And now that things are getting kind of bad out there in trucking, experience is even more important, and they want more experience because they're trying to weed out a lot of drivers. Be ready to be in that truck alone. Be ready to be out there with no help whatsoever. Remember that your CDL is your lifeline. It's the way you're going to make money. Don't do anything to jeopardize your CDL. Do your pre-trip. If the tires are bad on that trailer you pick up, put in a DVIR. Don't move that truck until the repairs get done. Because the company will tell you to run it. And you may want to run it because you need to make money. because you're desperate for money. Once again, we go back to make sure you have some money saved up before you show up. So when you have a bad week, you have something to fall back and you can eat. Try not to take a cash advance from the company. That's like borrowing money from a loan shark. Some people get in a perpetual cycle of borrowing money cash advance and they never pay it back and they never get ahead. Don't do cash advance. Save some money before you show up out here. There's a lot of things that are going to go wrong in pre-trip. You have to have them addressed. If you get pulled over and you get a violation, that's on you because it was your choice to run it. Even if the company tells you to, you are ultimately the responsibility falls on you and your license. Remember that. This is the same with scaling loads. You'll see people saying you don't got to scale your loads. Always scale your loads. Always. Even if the load isn't going to put you over the gross weight of the truck, you don't know where the load is distributed. Sometimes you pick up these trailers and they're sealed already. You don't know that they didn't load everything to the back. Now your tandems are really heavy. Or it's all loaded to the front of the trailer and your drives are heavy. You have to adjust your tandems. You have to know if that trailer is overweight on any of your wheels. Scale every load. It's a big ticket. It's CSA points. It's bad news, and it's on you. Western will not help you out. There are many options out there for trucking. Okay? Western, you can make money at Western Express if you're competent, if you know how to run your clock, and you're not going to learn that from your trainer is not going to teach you the proper way to trip plan and run out your clock because you're going to be running 24/7. So you're not going to learn about how to shut down even if you only ran 9 hours that day. You're going to shut down early and run the next 200 miles in the morning so you have a safe place to park at night. And because sometimes you just show up, you can't be showing up to drop with only 30 minutes left on your clock. Good luck. You'll run out of your 14 or your 11 real quick doing that. Looking for parking isn't always easy. So learn how to work your clock the right way. Learn how to do the tablet. Learn how to scan in all your paperwork. If you don't scan in your paperwork, you don't get paid for the load. And it happens all the time. Do that right away. Scan in your paperwork before you even leave the drop. This way, you know it's done. This way, you know you're getting paid. Learn how to use the tablet. I can't stress that enough. Learn how to slide your tandems. Learn that each hole in a tandem is 250 pounds on most trailers. I do know that this varies trailer to trailer. You can try to mess around with your fifth wheel slide. That is a nightmare, and I don't suggest you do that. It's very hard to slide your fifth wheel by yourself. And that's just a pro tip. I don't know. You know, some people can probably do it easy. I just don't think it's something that's worth doing. So always weigh your loads. Always slide your tandems so you have a good balance between your load. Stop if the light on a scale house is on and it says all trucks must enter. I don't care if you have bypass on your drive-wise, pull in. The state troopers don't care if you got a bypass. They want you to pull into that scale house, pull into that scale house. If it says truck must enter, enter. There's always state troopers sitting on the other side of the scale house and they'll chase you down. It's not always. Sometimes they won't. But if they do, it's no bueno. It's no good. It's better to just go in, get weighed. It's a little inconvenient. Hopefully you don't get an inspection. You know, they don't choose you for a level 1 or a level 3. Always be courteous to the DOT officers. They can be assholes, without a doubt. They're out there to jam you up for something. But it doesn't help being nasty. Being kind and courteous can sometimes get you out of, you know, a jam. I'll be honest with you. I've had a lot of luck because I'm a veteran. And, you know, I had Marine Corps stickers on my truck. I wear my Marine Corps hat. And that does go a long way with these guys. So I'm a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit of a, I can't speak for the everyday man. But these guys, they're out there, they're trying to make tickets. They're trying to make, quotas. So be aware of that. But if you're courteous, that's the difference between them telling you to go to the Loves and get that mud flap repaired, or you get a ticket for it. Pull over when you're getting chased by the police. I'm sure you've all seen a Western Express driver on the 4th of July last year who ran from the police for a mud flap. Then he didn't stop at a way station. They chased him for 40 miles. Then he got out of the truck and they sicked the dog on him. You don't want to have a dog sicked on you. Don't get chased by the police. Just pull over. They're gonna catch you anyway. They're driving Dodge Chargers. You know what I mean? You're not outrunning them in your governed Freightliner. But as I always said, before you come to Western Express, look into different options. There's plenty out there. There's plenty of beginner companies out there. And that's all I can say. Try Warner, try Melton, Covenant if you want to drive teams. There's a lot of companies out there. And it's a different video altogether when you talk about companies like Super Ego. Try to stay away from those companies. But if you can, and you have a clean record, and you have no felonies, try to find another company before you come to Western Express. But you can make money at Western Express. It can be a good beginner company, but it's probably not a company you want to stay out for long. That being said, it is still great that Western Express exists, a company where if you need a second chance, you can get it. It's not the greatest company in the world. They will test you. They will do terrible things to you, but you'll have a chance to make your experience and move on to hopefully bigger and better things. So, with that being said, God bless all of you. I hope you have a great Father's Day this weekend. Love God, love your family, say your prayers, drink plenty of water, take your vitamins, eat a yogurt and a banana every day. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so when I drop another video you get a notification. And once again, this is Good Guy Glenn. Thanks for watching.